Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another live stream here on youtube.com/Johnny Chiodini. I am Johnny Chiodini. That's me. Look at me go. There's my face. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Mine was busy and swift, but you know what? That's okay, because life goes on and time is meaningless. So, really upbeat start to the stream. Anyway, what are we going to be streaming today? I'm so glad you asked. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, we're going to be painting. Oh, shit. An awful lot, actually. Okay, so, Kill Team is a... What is wrong with me? Hello. Kill Team is a game made by Games Workshop, makers of Warhammer. It's set in the 40k universe, and basically it's a skirmish version of Warhammer 40k. And I have some terrain to paint for it. As you can see, it's already got some colour on it. Basically, I'm going to... I've not ever played Kill Team, but as you can probably tell, I'm going to start. So I picked up a box of Kill Team with nuns in it and some Tau fellows, and I assembled it all. And basically, I have given it a base coat with two different colours. Basically, I wanted to get this terrain on the table as quickly as possible, as swiftly as I could, because I feel like momentum is key when it comes to starting a game. It's like, if I buy this box and I don't play a game within the next few weeks, then I may never touch it. So I thought, I'll start with the biggest bit. I'll start with the terrain, and I'm just going to get it done. So as you can see, on here, there are lots of sort of little details. Like, ow, fuck, what is wrong with me today? There are lots of little skulls here, and there's a door, and it's got a sort of the Emperor's two-headed eagle on it, and there's a fan there with a sort of thing there, lots of pipes, lots of like neat stonework, just a lot of detail. And I'm going to paint none of it because, again, I want to get this on the table as swiftly as possible. So what I've done is, it's something I did with some terrain before, and I quite liked the effect, is I gave it a really dark, I think Cherokee Red was the name of, it's definitely purple, was the name of the spray paint I used, and then I kind of came in again with a different one called Marron Glacé, and just spray painted it, giving it a very rough, quite bad gradient, actually. So it just looks, it looks a little bit different. I quite like the way it looks, but what I want to do to just kind of finish this off and really make it sort of pop is I'm going to come in with some of this golden yellow colour, and I'm just going to dry brush it predominantly on these lighter areas, almost so it looks like the whole thing's being lit from above. When I did this before, I flipped the colours, I inverted it, because it was a catacombs board, which had sort of lava on the base, so it looked like it was being lit from below. And when I dry brushed it, I was really pleased with the result. So I've got bloody loads of this stuff, basically. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small bits, and then I've got that massive bit that I showed you, and then another fairly chunky piece of terrain. So this it's going to be a lot of dry brushing, but dry brushing is quite fun, it's quite relaxing, and it's just sort of a low-key affair. You know what? I'm going to put that down there. So, I'll switch to the painting view, get my headphones back on. Hi, welcome to Dry Brush Topia. We've got our pieces here, and I'm just going to be dry brushing for much of the stream, and then I hope, I'm going to get all of this terrain dry brushed and finished in today's stream. If that's so, I'm going to go back to that Warcry terrain I was working on ages ago, because I've still not put the rust on it. So I'm going to sort of, basically, if I run out of that terrain, I'm going to rust this stuff up. So anyway, that is an explanation of what we'll be getting on with today. It was a slightly garbled explanation. You're the first people I've really spoken to today. My wife got up and out the house quite early. And apart from sort of asking the dog if she's all right, / a good girl, etc., etc., I've not really had to string words together. So if I seem a little bit discombobulated, it's because I am. But it's fine. I'm just staring down a very, very busy week. So I think that's partly why I'm a little bit frazzled. Also, last night, right, and I'll preface this by saying, I know that talking about your dreams is extremely boring, so I will make this very, very quick. I had a stress dream pretty much all night, and I've been having these a lot recently, where I was about to do my A-levels, and I hadn't studied, and I hadn't been to any of the classes. I was about to do A-level French. I didn't do A-level French, but I was definitely about to mess up A-level French, because it was the day before my exam. And what's more, the school play was on, and I had a big role in it. And I said to somebody, have there been any rehearsals for this? Because I swear there haven't. And they were like, yes, there have been loads. Where have you been? So it was just a massive long dream about not being prepared for things that I haven't had to think. That looks dreadful. Is that really the colour I used before? Things I haven't had to think about for more than, it's a whole lifetime ago, that. A whole lifetime ago. Also, I don't think this is the colour I used last time, because I don't like how that looks. Or do I? Interesting. But yeah, so that might be why I'm also feeling a little bit on edge today. Is that the yellow I used before? I don't think it is all of a sudden. What colour did I use? Because this is not giving me the results I want. Huh, interesting. Give me 1 second. I'm going to dig out the other Warcry terrain, which means stepping over the dog. Anyway, how was everyone's weekend? Really going well, isn't it? Okay. Monster Noodle has done a super chat saying, I stress dreamt about having enough money for 2 leg sets, but I couldn't decide which two and ended up spending hours and hours in the shop. I'm assuming that was meant to be Lego sets. I stress dreamed about having enough money for 2 Lego sets, but I couldn't decide which two and ended up spending hours and hours in the shop. Yeah, that sounds familiar, to be honest. Because Lego is, expensive and good, but it's expensive enough that you really want to be sure. Holy shit. Jack Wood says I played 5 games of 40k in the space of 9 hours, and I am still tired. That's amazing. Also, that just is the yellow. What am I doing differently? How strange. That is the colour I was using. So this is... I told you about the Warcry terrain. This is all meant to go on a lava board and basically be lit from below and sort of have a sort of lava dungeon feel to it. So these are the same colours. Huh? I guess we'll just crack on, but I really just felt like that was not the correct colour. Huh. Oh no, Plastic Vicar says I tested positive for COVID this morning, my own fault for booking time off this week. Oh no, there's nothing worse than booking time off and being ill. It's like, no wait, sick day, come back! I could still be off, but that is rubbish. I'm very sorry to hear that. Right. Oh, Chaos says I had a nice catch-up with Will, where we talked rubbish and played Crisis Protocol. They may or may not have tried to eat my dog. Why did you try and eat a dog, Will? What gives? Oh, sorry, I'm painting off thing again. I might make myself a little bit smaller, actually. So working with some big terrain today. And then I need to lift this up a little bit. Feeling very prepared today. Here we go. Yeah, that's a bit better. Do I like this? Do I like where we're going with this? I think so. Yeah, I think it's alright. You know when you start doing something, you know, like, I've definitely done it this way before, but it doesn't feel quite the same. So how sometimes you'll make a sandwich or something and be like, why isn't this sandwich nice like it normally is? Strange. Will says it's because the dog and I have the same haircut. Fair. Okay. Does that... I'm not sure that's justification for trying to eat a dog, Will. I'm perfectly honest. The Nice Witch is in chat and says, howdy. Hello, the Nice Witch. Everybody please be very nice to the Nice Witch today. Because I don't know how many of you have seen the news about June Brown, but a cherished EastEnders actor has passed away at the age of 95. She was a treasure, and the Nice Witch was a fan. So there. Yeah, this is working. Alright, it's fine. I'm relaxing into this now. Just a bit worried that what I was doing was A, awful, and B, not what I planned, but it's fine. We've got a third colour now in our terrain, so that's sort of... You can see the effect. It's sort of hard to just pick out those little details, really, and sort of say, hello, there are some bolts on these plates, and oh, isn't this fan fun? Just to make it seem a little bit more complete. There we go. Still, frankly, buzzing after Thursday's stream, where we celebrated the channel hitting 1 year. And I just want to say again, thank you everyone for turning up and making that such a bloody delight. It was really, really fun. We didn't make it all the way through all the games we planned, but I'm kind of glad of that, to be honest. It was nice just going, actually, we will play more Tetris because we fancy playing more Tetris. It was really good. Artima Bale has done a super chat saying, actually home, but sadly can't join the painting as I've got to take the dog to the neurologist after a tumble down the stairs last night. Wish us luck. Oh, that sounds awful. I sincerely hope that everything comes back all right and that the dog is back to their normal self very soon. Yeah, honestly, best of luck to both of you. That sounds rubbish. That's not the kind of hobby project you want to be getting on with of a Monday afternoon. I'm glad you're playing it safe and going to see the neurologist rather than sort of leaving it and sort of leaving an element of risk in there. Those of you who are watching at home and are not taking a dog to a neurologist, are you working on anything at the minute? Are you working on anything right now while we're streaming? If so, what? We haven't done a Stubborn Project stream in a while, and that's partly because I feel like I don't have any Stubborn Projects on the go, actually. Like, I finished the Skylad ship, and I felt like that went pretty well. Oh, whoops. It's probably that Chaos Dwarf team, to be honest. I haven't touched that in an age, and it'd be good to make some more progress on that. So maybe we'll do another Stubborn Project stream soon. Danella Dragon says, Nachmund terrain is fun to paint. Defect says, as usual, working on dinner. Jamie Dancer is writing. Ooh, hello. That's something I haven't had enough time for recently. Apart from, obviously, the RPG for the Patreon. Last month's sort of one-session RPG was called Rootum Tootum Races. It's all about being a cowboy with a wagon and a desire to win a race. I think it's fun. Everyone's been suspiciously quiet about it, possibly because they think it's crap, but I think it's fun. So there we go. Let's see. Hello. In Felix Soror says, I have the best project at the moment. A long-awaited mini chest of drawers has arrived, and I'm sorting all of the cross-stitch thread into the drawers, and I love it so much. Yes, please. That sounds like the antithesis of hobby projects that I would have, but I'm glad that you're excited about it. Like I said, as you can see, I have a fairly scatterbrained approach to hobbying. WhoMD21 says chicken roast in the oven and Lego London in front of me. Absolutely delightful. Sarah Burke says, I'm working on a Chronicles of Narnia cross-stitch. I've finished part of a table runner and I'm working on some other little projects on the side. That is an extreme hustle, Sarah Burke. Very nice. John Nigma says, proofreading some text for work while trying not to fall asleep. Fair. Monster Noodle says, can I advocate for no trowel Mondays? Advocate all you like, just please, understand that I probably can't join in because I've already had to get up once this stream, and I don't want to get demonetized by showing you my arse every week. Nick Jeffrey has done a super chat saying, hi Johnny, hope you had a good weekend. As I finished Horizon Zero Dawn and want a break from that world before Forbidden West, I've started on the Outer Worlds today. Nice! That is a game I actually haven't played, despite the fact several people were like, are you going to stream the Outer Worlds, Johnny? It should be up your streaks. It's made by the same people that made Fallout New Vegas. And I was like, no, I will not. Because I've tried it and I hated it. Turns out, no, I didn't. I played the Outer Wilds, and I didn't enjoy that very much. Sorry to everyone who loved that. But the game I was thinking of that I tried and hated was Journey to the Savage Planet. So I've actually officially never tried the Outer Worlds. So I'm not against trying it. And I hope you have a bloody great time with it, Nick Jeffrey. And thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, I'm quite pleased with how this is turning out. Thank goodness. I'll tell you what I have started playing, though, before I get onto this super chat from lovely Deviant Alyssa, is Weird West. And as I suspected, it's right up my street. It's fucking marvellous. It's a really nice combination of, just good fun storytelling that feels extremely Deadlands adjacent. Just good immersive sim with almost twin stick combat. It's so far an absolute bloody delight, and it feels very much like it was made for me. So I'm almost certainly going to stream a bit of that. I could turn it into a Press Any Chiodini series. I need to put out a new post asking for suggestions and then votes, actually, because we are nearing the end of God of War. One episode left to do. Anyway, right, so lovely Deviant Alyssa has done a super chat saying, hi Johnny, I don't get to pop into live streams very often, but I love watching VODs, other videos, and Oxventure, so I just wanted to take the opportunity to say thank you for all that you do. Happy 1 year with a little party ta-da emoji. Thank you very, very much, lovely Deviant Alyssa. You are indeed lovely. Thank you. Yeah, just thank you, basically. It's been so surreal to get to a year already, but it's been very, very good fun doing it and getting to know people a little bit and just basking in a very nice community, basically. So thank you for being a part of it and for being one of VOD Squad. And yeah, just thank you in general. It's very kind. Emma Benton's in chat. Hello, Emma. Corvus Albright's done a super chat saying, Outer Worlds haiku for Outer Worlds haiku time. A silly space rump. Capitalism satire. Treat yourself, daddy! I think it's on Game Pass, isn't it? Which is incidentally where Weird West is. So if you haven't tried it, please do. It's great. And also, I don't want to sound like I'm shilling for Xbox or anything, because I'm not. I don't even own an Xbox. I've got a PC, but Game Pass is very good value, it feels like. Especially since, a lot of the time I want to pick something up just to stream it. I feel like it pays for itself a few times over every month for me, because there's always something I want to try, or something I want to just stream once, or whatever. And it's, for that, it's a bloody delight. So, and many times I've been like, I'm going to pick that game up. and I was fully ready to drop 30 quid on Weird West, like without no questions asked. And then like, oh, this is on Game Pass. I guess I'll just download it then. I missed a super chat. Thank you very much. GG Jiggle did a super chat saying, missed the 1 year because of working, but happy belated channel birthday. Also, what do you think of the new squats? Firstly, thank you very much, GG Jiggle. That is a lovely super chat that I cruelly missed, but have returned for. It's very generous of you. I think the new squats look brilliant, and I kind of... The general feeling is they're going to be a kill team before they're a full-blown army, which suits me down to the ground. I'd happily drop a bit of money on a squats box. Because, like... And again, please forgive me, Warhammer 40k people and knowers of lore, for not knowing very much about it. But they are they dwarves or aren't they? Because, like, when the Kharadron Overlords released in Age of Sigmar, people were like, lol, squats are back, but they're in Age of Sigmar. And I know that the squats are... They're smaller than your average man. They are dwarves. Okay. Space dwarves. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going to get into squats. Like, because A, they make my butt look good. A, they just look like fun, and B, like, I love dwarves. You know? Monk Googly Eyed Skull says, dwarvish. See what I did there? Hello, Monk. How are you doing? I did see what you did there. You must be excited about the squats, Monk. You've got your own chaos squats that you've lovingly made over the years, right? JT Geddes has done a super chat saying, morning Johnny Boss and Skellies, currently waiting on my flight, brackets work trip, have a meeting in 10 minutes as well, talk about a fast-paced Monday. It should be illegal to have to attend a meeting while waiting for a flight. That is... No. As far as I'm concerned, when you're in transit, you're off the clock. That's my passionate belief. Like sometimes, like there was, like one time a colleague was like, "Oh, we could do this and get this written on the plane on the way to a thing," and I was like, "No, I'm going to read a book for 8 hours. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have myself a gin and tonic and I'm going to read, and that will be fine." Nick Jeffrey. Has done a super chat saying, Emma B asks, can I drop a link to my hobby page? Absolutely. Monk says, I may have popped over the moon once or twice. Jackwood says, Monk's chaos squats are rad. See, there you go. I keep track of these things vaguely. Rogue Trader was always fantasy battles in space, so elves, dwarves, humans, etc., says David Callier. Talman has done a super chat saying the Yogi impression made me laugh out loud, which is an issue because I'm not working from home today. Thanks for that. With 3 grinning face emojis and then an emoji of what looks like an apple that's almost shaped like a water balloon. It's very odd. Sorry, I hope I didn't get you in trouble. But I'm glad you liked my Yogi impression. Thomas Tomasi says, who was the colleague? No way was it Higton. Ian and I only ever went abroad once together. We went to E3 1 year, but Ian gets terrible insomnia when abroad, so tended not to do E3 because it would just destroy his brain and health for a bit. So yeah, we only ever went away once, but no, it was not him. Emma has dropped a link to her hobby page. Oh, hello. It's, oh my god. It's some virtual photography from Horizon Forbidden West. And that's a lot of guns. That's a lot of guns on a thing. That's a lot. It's a lot. That game. Sort of... vaguely dreading having to play it, because I assume I'm going to get my ass kicked. Black Shield Forge has done a super chat, which must mean they have come back from somewhere exotic sounding. Hey all, I return from the Anvilarium of the 10th Legion... Oh no, wait, it's Astartes. Well, that's more like Mark Strong. Hi all, I return from the Anvilarium of the 10th Legion Astartes for the stream. I started 40k in 2nd edition and remember the squats well. A, thank you for the super chat. B, another excellent place that you've been off working in your trade as a blacksmith. And also, second edition. Honk honk. I mean, I started, and by started I mean I've played one game of 40k in 8th ed, which tells you all you need to know about how recently I came to the hobby. But in my defence, I was piddling about in Age of Sigmar for quite a long time. So I think I saw a few people ask what I'm planning to play as in Kill Team. The box that I got with this terrain has Adeptus Sororitas, so nuns with guns, but also Tau, and I kind of want to try the Tau. Did I already say this? I think I already said this. Maybe I didn't. But I want to try the Tau, so they're the ones I'm going to assemble and paint up first, and then we'll see about the Adeptus Sororitas. Ruthie Pinion says, gang, my D&D character got to kiss her not girlfriend this week, and now they are girlfriends, and I am so pleased. Congratulations. That sounds like a delightful session of Dungeons & Dragons. So nice when things work out, isn't it? I've never had a character actually achieve any level of romantic relationship with somebody they've fancied in an RPG, but then I also tend to play misanthropes who get killed. So, there we go. Talman says, it was a pear, not an apple. This is a super chat. Talman says, it was a pear, not an apple. Also, here are 40 Ks, and then kick 40 times. I haven't counted them individually, but I trust that those are 40 Ks for 40k, for in the war in the 41st millennium, in the grim dark future. Thank you very much for the follow-up super chat. Oh, I forgot to mention, because apparently my brain is just empty today. But I'm going to have to stop the stream at 7 p.m. today, so I'm only doing 3 hours rather than the usual 4, because it is my friend's birthday, and they are surprisingly going to be in London, because normally they're in Bristol. So I'm going to go see them, and it'll all be very, very nice. So yeah, forgive me, but I shall be drinking a pint with my friend Tired. Okay. Ruthie Pinion says, thank you, friends. It was a long time coming, but it's very worth it. They've been best friends forever, and now they are adorable. I just hope that your games master isn't the cruel type to use this as leverage for sort of romantic but imperiled storytelling. Like, are they suddenly about to get kidnapped a lot, like Scully in the second season of The X-Files, you know? Oh, Watson, you getting comfy? Good pig. Who was it? Lucanthius says, I counted, there are 40 Ks. Nice one, thank you, Lucanthius. Always good to know that Talman is telling the truth and not a naughty fib. Hope everyone likes the sound of dry brushing, by the way, because that's what this is. That's what you're getting for the next few hours. Dry brushing. And I really need to buy some matte spray varnish. I keep meaning to do it, and I haven't picked any up in an age. But A, I want to seal this terrain, and B, the rust stuff that I'm going to put on the Walkeri terrain is water soluble. So painting on varnish tends to mess with it, but also it'll rub off quite easily if I don't varnish it. So that's the plan anyway. Snorpen Bass says, we're not really here for the dry brushing, we're here to make you laugh until you get paint on your nose. Why am I drinking the paint? Oh no, that's on your nose, not out your nose. Michael Blatherwick has done a super chat saying, finished my ridiculously ambitious Crondies yesterday, now basking in social media numbers going brrr. Might do some 15mm Warmen later. Oh, that sounds delightful. I hope indeed the socials are going brrr. I have never painted like Warmen or basically any miniatures on that smaller scale before. Is it... I kind of feel like it would either be very, very fiddly and a little bit nerve-wracking or incredibly freeing. How do you find it? And anyone else who's painted like, you know, epic scale or whatever, where you just take the miniatures and go, haha, that's a whole unit. How do you find it? Also, just in case anyone was wondering, here's a sort of side-by-side comparison of the terrain with and without the dry brush. So it actually really hides a lot of the sort of brown tones and brings out the edges. But yeah, that's how it looks. I'm quite pleased with it. And like I say, like, painting this slot, I'm here for a quick time, not for a detailed time, you know? Titan Uranus has done a super chat saying, fun fact, the original designers of Warhammer 40k called it Warty 1000 internally. Really? Warty 1000 sounds brilliant. It also sounds like John Cleese is somehow involved. Old school John Cleese before he just turned into just just a moaning old man, obviously. Titan Uranus says, no, that's... I literally just read out that super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Titan Uranus. That's very kind. Stephen Roger Benson says, the smaller they are, the easier. Michael Blatherwick says, the little warmends are very freeing, yeah. Very different from enormous Stormcast Dragon, where a single wing talon is basically the size as a team Yankee man. Yeah, fair enough. That is a difference in scale, isn't it? Okay. Emma Benton says, have they broken out the pale sand yet? Emma, I don't want to alarm you, but there is a very real chance I won't use it at all today. Because this is the only colour that's yet to go on to this terrain. And as you can see, it's a golden yellow. In fact, it's called golden yellow. No, just gold yellow from Vallejo. But if I get through this lot within time, and I think I will, because I've only got this bit and this bit to do before I do the two big buildings. I'm going to switch terrain type and probably will end up dry brushing some pale sand onto the wood bits. We'll see. Not 100% sure on that. I'll have a look and make a call. But Emma's typed all in caps, what the audacity. I know. I just figured it was easier to be upfront with you now and say, look, this might be a pale sand free stream. CookieCat94 has done a super chat, but the super chat has nothing in it. CookieCat. Oh, it says no joke, just beer money for earlier. Yeah, CookieCat94 made a particularly cursed version of the thumbnail for this stream. It's animated and everything. Really nightmarish. Will says, cheeky pale sand at the top of that terrain would highlight it nicely, to be honest. I will see this. I will try it. If only to keep you all satisfied for your desire to see. I mean, the pale sand's right here. It's never far away. But I know it's not the same as seeing it go onto a model, so sure. Severin Tiger says, hey Johnny and Skellies. Hello Severin, I hope you're well. Speaking of Skellies, you may have noticed I'm wearing a delightful Skeleton Pals t-shirt. they are available for only 12 more days before they A, go into production, but B, the design disappears from sale until the next time I bring it back for a timed campaign. So do get your orders in if you fancy one, but also there's no pressure. I tried to keep them as cheap as humanly possible, but the amount I'm selling them for, £22.55, is literally the cheapest I was allowed to set them as, because the base t-shirts are a little bit more expensive in order to A, increase the quality, but also B, accommodate a greater range of sizes. So there you go. I'm very excited to see them popping up in the wild, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it'd be very, very nice. Give me one sec. Ivy says, "Hey Johnny, are your t-shirts available on Best Tea Store too, or are those knockoffs?" Those are knockoffs. I've already had to get in touch with one business to say, stop that, or I'm going to send a lawyer after you. But basically, if they aren't on Everpress, they are bootleg. It feels very strange to have reached a point of t-shirt sale whereby people are actually making bootleg things. I feel like I've arrived in some way, but yeah, it's quite annoying though. So yeah, it's Everpress or nowhere. Talman says, "Do you know when they ship or how long they take? I bought one when he first announced, but haven't seen it yet. I am in the States, so the thing about Everpress is they don't waste any t-shirts. They only print as many as they sell, but that means that they don't print a single one until the campaign ends. So you're not going to see it for a couple of weeks at least, because there's like 11 or 12 days left on the campaign. Then they're going to make and ship them. And in my experience, like, because I bought one as part of a campaign that RKG did, they actually they got them out pretty swiftly, but there is a bit of a wait involved. But it does mean that, like, basically, I don't have to gamble and say, I'm going to print 1,000 t-shirts and have either a warehouse full of them, or say, I'm going to print 10 t-shirts and just basically not be able to keep up with demand. So yeah, apologies for the delay, but I promise you it'll be worth it at the end. Mr. Super Chat, again? What is happening to me? Yes, Luke Gray is on a Super Chat saying, "Hey Johnny, wanted to show my support and say it's good to see a stream today, as I haven't in ages due to work being 50 hours. Such fun being a chef." Luke, that sounds intense. And yeah, every chef I know is really tired, like all of the time. Like really very tired. So I'm glad you're here. I hope you're getting a decent rest. And I hope you like the sound of dry brushing, because you're going to be hearing a lot of it today. Anonymous says, "Sending lawyers after bootleggers. You know how Disney is the House of Mouse. Is Johnny the floor of Boar?" Well, hey, look, I didn't actually send a lawyer after anyone. I said, this is a polite notice to remove the design before I send my lawyer after you. I don't have a lawyer. I just pretended to have one, and it worked. They apologised profusely and pulled it from sale. But yes, that was a whole big thing. But no, I promise you I'm not going to turn into... I'm not going to be super litigious. Because then I'd actually have to litigate, you know? Dark Absol Writer says, recently got my room decorated. You never realise how gross a room is until you've started painting it. Ain't that the truth? It's really weird. Like, I've had it a couple of times when I've moved house where, like, taking the stuff out and packing it up and then getting to the point where you're just tidying up the last bits and starting to do a clean and stuff. I've been like, this place isn't very nice. Like, this flat's kind of a hole. And not as in, like, I've made it filthy and disgusting. It's just like, this flat was never actually that nice. And I was convinced it was amazing. What? It's so strange how easy it is to break that spell in a domicile. Especially when your landlord's being an absolute prick about you getting out, etc., etc. But that's a tale for another day. All landlords are bastards. Oh, what time is it? Oh, it's only 41 minutes into the stream. We're absolutely tearing through this. Although, if I am going to do some pale sand, that'll obviously mean that we basically get to do this all over again. There we go. Now, it probably would look really nice at the top. We'll see. We'll see. It's not a guarantee. Sorry. Somebody just sent me a message and I needed to read it. But I've read it now, so we're back. And here we go. It's time for the very big bits of terrain. I don't know how to do... I'm probably just going to do circles in this, aren't I? It'll be fine. Steve Gilly says, Johnny's lawyer, the flaming skull with a necktie. That's the one, yeah. Cease and desist. That's what he's like. Spitting out fireballs. Adjusting his tie. Though no one knows how, because he doesn't have hands. Oh, Rob J says, oh, I thought Johnny was going to say it's time for pale sand. I'm sorry. It's always going to be time for pale sand soon. Just isn't time for pale sand right now, you know? Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to dry brush a lot of this. But I'm just going to do it in sort of flat circles and avoid these corners where there would normally be shadow, I think. To kind of give a sense of open ground versus being sort of tucked away in the corner there. Oopsie, that's too much. There we go, blend that in. Ta-da! It's funny, like, dry brushing terrain, quite enjoy it because it means I get it done swiftly, but I've almost completely stopped dry brushing when I paint rank and file miniatures, like individual minis. I just don't do it anymore. I'm not sure why. I think it's just because I've been working a lot on like layering and stuff. But sometimes I just don't like how dry brushing looks on my models. I like it on other people's plenty. Like, I don't judge anyone for dry brushing. It's a perfectly valid technique, obviously, but it's not quite for me, you know? Synthwave Noir says, do you plan on adding any decorations or bits to the structures once they're painted? Nope, this is it. This is the full extent of my plans, basically. Just make some of it yellow and get it on the table. Jack Wood says, I only tend to dry brush when underpainting. Yeah, underpainting is a great time to do that, actually. I find underpainting really instructive. Like, I don't actually... I mean, I find it does improve my model or give it a good sense of contrast. But also, a lot of the time, I mostly find it useful for puzzling out what bit's going to be which and where I'm going to do my layering. That's where it gives me the most benefit, rather than building in a tonal value before I get colour on there. Just realised that was probably fairly inside baseball for some of you. Underpainting is when you have a model and you spray paint it black, and then with a combination of using like white and or grey spray cans and then sort of white paint, you paint it as if it's been lit from above. So it's black sort of on the underside of bits and then white from above. And basically you're building in a sense of contrast and light and dark before you put any colour on it. Because then if you put a thin layer of colour on there, you'll find naturally if you spray paint a model white and then you spray paint a model black, the colour you put on will look slightly different. So when you've got those different colours of black and grey and white already on your model before you put the colour on, the colour will show up and it will look like it's been pre-shaded. That's what I mean by like tonal values. And this is really interesting. It's a good way of making your colours pop. It's good fun. Burrito's done a super chat saying, hi Johnny, how are you? Here's to a not preposterous. Hi Johnny, how are you? Here's to a prosperous year for your channel. Let's face it, it's going to be preposterous. Hopefully it will also be prosperous. Super chatting you on Monday, brackets, it's morning here, feels like good luck for the week. Thank you very much, Burrito. I hope you're well, and I hope you have a fantastic week. May that Monday morning super chat luck flow your way. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping it will be a prosperous year, as well as a preposterous year. But yeah, again, it feels very strange to have reached a year already. It feels so sudden. But just taking the time to celebrate it, actually, last week has really put a spring in my step. I've been struggling a little bit with prioritising tasks and managing my anxiety first thing in the morning. But I woke up this morning and I was like, all right, this is going to be an extremely busy week. Let's make that to-do list and let's get stuff done. And I actually managed to do some stuff, some admin, that's been looming for, no joke, months. And it turned out it was really easy and yada, yada, yada. And just, I've gained a bit more energy and momentum just by taking a few hours on a Thursday to go, what we do here is very silly but also very fun, and it's gone okay. It was really, really nice and rewarding, and thanks again, everyone, for making me feel very much appreciated. And then kicking my ass at Tetris. That bit too. That bit especially, actually. Maybe I'll take a sabbatical 1 month. I'll be like, I'm not collecting any Patreon dues, I'm just going to play Tetris 99 by myself so that when I come back, I can take some of you to the cleaners. We'll see. Oops, sorry. Ooh. I'm wondering how far to go with this dry brush, because this is all feeling very grim. I should probably go to about there, I reckon. We'll see. Gillies says, Johnny plays Tetris 99 by themselves. CPU 67 enters the chat. Oofed. CPU 67 really did have a storied game last time. Last stream. It was a real Cinderella story, which is bizarre when you're thinking about it's a Tetris AI, you know? This isn't iRobot, it's just Tetris 99 on the Nintendo Switch, you know? Will says, reckon you could still collect Patreon dues for that month. Cool Ghost still brings in about £500 a month. Does it now? That's interesting. Lovely Deviant Alyssa's done another super chat saying, I've always wanted to ask, I love the storyline / mechanics of Blades. Unfortunately, I have no one to play with, but I'm curious, if I bought the book anyway, would it satisfy my desire to learn more about the world? Haha. I think it would, because there's a good amount of stuff in there. And there's some really interesting stuff that will get your imagination firing, even if you aren't planning to run the game. But also, I think it might just inspire you enough that you would try and find a group online, maybe? I mean, not to plug my own Discord or anything, but there is a channel on that specifically for looking for players. And I know people have organised a whole bunch of tabletop games and role-playing sessions off the back of that server. And there are also other servers that are free to join that can do that. And it's a nice way to meet new people and enjoy a shared interest. And frankly, Blaze in the Dark is brilliant. So I think if you can, you should really give it a whirl. But yeah, buying the book will absolutely be good fun. Like, there's some lovely detail in there. I really like it. James Knight has done a super chat saying, just wanted to say a little thank you for what you do and ask, do you have any tips for painting eyes? Hello, James Knight. Hopefully you're not the same James Knight that punched me in the face when I was 7. I mean, if you are, I forgive you. It's just this is a little bit awkward. Yeah, tips for painting eyes. My number one tip for painting eyes is don't bother, which Will has literally just written as well. My number one tip is, I don't do it. I don't bother painting eyes 99% of the time. What I do is I will make sure I get some extra shade in there just to give them sort of darker sockets so that you can see that that's where they are. There's still a point to which the eye is drawn, and it sort of it just fulfills that bit in the face, you know? It just it shows you what you need to see from that bit. But if you are going to paint them, one trick I was taught was not to paint the eye white and then try and paint an iris and then a pupil, because that would be it's very difficult, and oftentimes people end up looking off one way in one eye and another in the other eye, which can be frustrating, especially when if it's like the last detail you're doing on a model. That can be a real drag. So sometimes I will do, say Skaven or Orcs, I will just paint the whole eye red, and that looks fine. But if you're talking about doing an eye with a sclera and an iris and a pupil, paint the whole eye black. Then do one dot either side so that basically the paint kind of forms the iris for you. And you do it in... It feels like, I want to say, you basically do it in negative space, which isn't... I don't know if that's technically true, but the idea is, black and then beep, beep. And that gives you... Sorry, I accidentally flipped all you off there. Then that gives you an eye, and it's easier to do. And if you mess it up, you can just paint the whole thing black again, you know? GG Jiggle says, I'm assuming Discord is a Patreon perk? It is. So the lowest tier on my Patreon is £3 a month, and that just basically just gives you Discord access. But the Discord is honestly bloody lovely. and full of some really, really nice people. And it's genuinely quite a nice place to meet people and get games together. So, yeah, there it is. Jack Wood says, the only eyes I've ever done were on big models, but if you're going to do them on small ones, do them before you've done the face. That way you don't mess up the whole face. That is also a good tip. But I tend not to do them. Not least because if I had done the eye and then I was doing the face, I would be very nervous about messing it up. Like, one of my friends is a phenomenal painter. Like, they are excellent. And they paint... They don't do, like, here's my base colour, now I'm going to do some layering, now I'm going to do my highlights, etc., etc. They paint all of the skin. From start to finish, all the skin. They're like, right, that's the skin done. Now I'm going to paint the armor. Terrifies me, because what if I overpaint while I'm doing like the base layer on my armor, and I mess up all of that lovely work I put in yesterday? You know, but that they say is the only way they can paint, because it's the only way that they remain focused. So like, it's funny how like people's methods vary wildly from person to person. But, I mean, like, look at me here. I'm deliberately not painting any of the detail on this terrain. I'm just dry brushing it because I want to suggest the detail rather than going in and being like, well, that is cracking concrete, that's metal, that's a different kind of metal. You know, it's whatever works for you, I think. Thunder Cookie has done a superb sticker. Now this sticker is of a piece of fruit, it looks like, because it's got a leaf and a stalk coming out of its head. It is more rounded at the bottom than it is at the top, and it is greenish in hue, which leads me to believe this is either an apple that's gone wrong, or it's a pear. Now, if we continue with the hypothesis that this is an apple that's gone badly, badly wrong, it still seems okay. Like it's, you know, it seems quite happy actually. It's kind of standing coquettishly, and then it blows a kiss, and in its eyes, you see little hearts, and then some hearts pop out around its head, suggesting that either this apple that's gone horribly wrong has a lot of love to give, or it's completely infested with tiny, tiny hearts, like some weird parasites. But like I say, it seems happy enough, so it's kind of going like, mwah! As if to say that Thunder Cookie is being affectionate, which is very nice. Thank you very much, Thunder Cookie. Chaos says, for the true John Blanche effect, Johnny should be shading with an old cup of tea. God, I love a cup of tea right now. I'd absolutely kill for one. I haven't had tea in a while. And my throat is slightly sore, which means, like, I sincerely hope it just means that I'm talking with the wrong set of vocal cords again, which I've done in the past. Hope it doesn't mean I'm getting ill, or possibly COVID-y again, because I have too much shit to do this week to get COVID, frankly. But we shall see. Maybe I'll treat myself to a lateral flow and a cup of tea when we have a break, which we'll do in about half an hour, I reckon. I'm kind of wondering, because you can see here, obviously, like, from the way it sits, and just from the overhang, this is a very shady, like shadowy rather, part of the model, which is why I haven't really put any of the brown paint on there. Wondering how far to go in with this dry brush. I might just go no further than this pillar, but gussy this up a little bit more. Now you're gussing it. Yeah, I think that works. Because that feels properly like someone's in the shadows. Oh. Rob J says, but lateral flow tests take 15 minutes to get back, not 5 to 7. I know, but I could have it sat next to me. I could read it quietly while I'm on stream. I don't have to wait in situ while it cooks. Will says, yeah, you basically don't want to dry brush that. Actually, maybe a darker dry brush? I quite like it just being bare, because there is a tiny, tiny bit of gradient there. But I want that to be really dark and shadowy. I don't know, I think I'm going to leave it. Will says, do you want a live COVID reaction, though? No, not really, probably, but... one sec, just got a message that I should respond to. Jack Wood says, wait, you're supposed to cook lateral flows? No, you know what I mean. Like, when it's cooking away, like when it's doing its thing. Sam Street says, Johnny, haven't got around to watching the Tunic stream on VOD yet, and I'm looking for a new game after Elden Ring. Was it any good? I liked it a lot. I liked it an awful lot. I think it's great. So yeah, I'd say it's worth it. It's on Game Pass if you're into that sort of thing. If you've got a PC or a an Xbox, but so that's where we've got to with that. I'm quite pleased with it. Okay, here we go. So now it's time. Oof. Oh God. Oh Christ. Whoops. Everything's fine. I'm just ruining the terrain I just dry brushed. Here we go. Now it's time for the biggest bit of terrain, aka what we'll be up to for the next 15 minutes to half an hour. Big, 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 big. And see, there are bits in here that are more visible, so I am just gonna... I'm gonna follow the guidelines of my own gradient, basically. But there we go. Hope you like gold yellow, because that's what we're sticking with for quite some time. Nope, trying not to dox anyone with my phone. Cool. Oh. Here we go. Mr. Reno Mars says, hi Johnny, I love the 40k universe and everything you've done so far with it and your painting streams. Sadly, it's 2 AM here in Australia, bloody hell, and I'm off to bed. Keen to see how this one turns out. Cheers. Sleep well, Mr. Reno Mars. 2 AM is a very good reason to go to bed. Thank you for your kind words as well. I'm excited to see how this turns out as well. I'm really looking forward to putting together a couple of kill teams. And seeing what happens. Lovely Deviant Alyssa has done another super chat saying, just want to say a big thank you for the Blades info and advice, Johnny, and an equally big thank you to everyone for the kind words in the chat. You are very welcome. The nice thing about this community is that there are lots of, in the best possible way, enablers in it. As in people who will encourage you to do the thing that you want to do, but maybe find a little bit intimidating, or, try out the thing that you're thinking about giving a whirl. And just generally speaking, it's full of very nice people who will encourage you to follow your hobbies if you think they're going to make you happy. It's good. Obviously, enablers sounds like bad influences, but that's not quite what I mean. Depends which bit of the Discord you're in. Because obviously the shameful place is a gallery of rogues who make impulse purchases based around plastic that is fun. Alex Tannenbaum has done a super chat saying, hope you're well, Johnny. First time DMing went well. They gave me tons of hell and more than one. You got that from Xventure. Totally worth it. Perfect. That sounds brilliant. It sounds like everyone had a really good time. So congratulations. And on to the next one, I dare say. I hope it's given you plenty of ideas for what you're going to do next. Sam Street says, we will enable butt chat. We absolutely will. I'm sorry that we're painting buildings today, because buildings don't tend to have butts. I realise in saying that, I've probably now instigated a 20-minute conversation in chat about what the butt of a building actually is. Is it the back door? Is it the basement? You know? Is it the bins? What is the butt of a building? There we go. That's today's big topic. God Convoy's done a super chat saying squats, thoughts. The exercise, actually quite enjoy doing them, but that's because I'm quite good at them because I've got fairly muscular legs. The 40k faction, delighted they're back. Just think they're very funny, but also I love dwarves, so I'm absolutely going to give them a whirl in Kill Team. Probably not as a full army, because I haven't got enough time for that nonsense. But speaking of butts, CookieCat94 has done a super sticker. It's a peach, but thanks to the lighting and the shape of it and the angle, you and I both know it looks like a butt. Thank you very much, CookieCat94. Ethan Blomquist says Tyrannid buildings probably have butts. Jedediah Taylor says the sewage outflow. Thomas Tomasi says the buttress. That has something to do with buildings, I think. Very good, yes. That's definitely the butt of a church, isn't it? Sarah Burke says I'm not a fast enough typer. Everyone else typed the pun I thought of. Flying Buttress says, well, the toilet is the butt of the building, says Eccentric Lefty. Fair. Yeah. Hadn't thought about that. Ah, my jaw. Whoopsie. Dropped a bottle of pale flesh on my dog. Oh my god. Emma Blast says, surely the butt of a church is the rectory. Very well done. You're absolutely right. I take it all back. I'm sorry. You are butt chat enablers. Feels like an off day if we haven't discussed butts at great length. Defect says, not sure, but in Elden Ring, some walking buildings have massive bell ends. Very good. I haven't actually played Elden Ring in weeks now. Just been a bit busy. And Weird West is so up my street that today I was like, oh, I've got an hour spare. What do I play? And I was like, it's going to be Weird West, actually. I'm currently bounty hunting, so I can afford to pay somebody a lot of money for a thing I need them to do in order to advance the story. But it's going other than that, it's going very well. Apart from the fact, I got into a big firefight today, actually. I got ambushed while I was on the trail. And I finished with 1 hit point left out of 100. So nearly died. And then I went to a town and I drank all the water in town from their water barrels, because drinking water heals you. And then I found some cacti somewhere else. And I drank a load from them and I ate their fruit. And that was good. And I think I've overdone it on this floor, to say the very least. Whoopsie. Oh well. And if any more evidence were needed, Will said, I'm looking for some chocolate with a tropical coconut flavour, and Chaos said, bounty hunting because those little coconut bastards are easily the worst in a selection box. Will and Kay are not the same person, but they certainly share several neurons. Lemon Avalanche says, I've been obsessed with Ollie Ollie World for the past week. It is very good. I haven't played it in a little while. I went back to it for a bit, but it wasn't quite the vibe I was looking for because I was very tired. So let's play some more Animal Crossing. That Casual Dragon says, I love bounties. I love a bounty too, to be honest. I think they're great. And a full-size bounty and a selection or celebrations or whatever it is. Celebrations box, like, they're a different texture, and I think they're delightful. They're delightful in a whole different way. So, yeah. But then when I was a kid, I taught myself how to like topics, because it meant that, like, I'd always have a chocolate that I wanted. When, like, say a box of celebrations went around the schoolroom, you know, like, oh, it's the end of term, and we all get a celebration each. Everyone would be like, I want the Malteser, or, you know, like, everyone would take the Mars bars, and you'd see people being like, no, there's nothing in here I want. I was like, oh, there's a fucking topic in there, so that's me sorted. So there we go. A Guilty Thorn has done a super chat saying, been watching your content across channels for years now, don't normally chat, but it's payday, so I figured why not show some love. Thank you, A Guilty Thorn, that is absolutely delightful of you, and thank you for following me from odd place to this very odd place across the internet. I truly appreciate it. I know full well that sometimes when somebody leaves a place, like, you know, you carry on watching the original thing because it's a good thing that you like to watch anyway. And then sometimes you check in with a person and be like, oh, I wonder how they're doing. And for some reason it doesn't have the same magic and it's not quite your cup of tea. So I'm truly appreciative of everyone who's gone, I can fuck with this. You know, like I can still get something out of this. And yeah, I appreciate all those people who have followed me here. And I hope they've all stopped watching the others. It's not true at all. I hope you're watching things that make you happy. That's all I ask for in life. Yeah, I think I'm going to throw some shade onto this this floor. Hope everyone's already typing jokes about me saying mean things to the paint job I've done, but I'm going to shade this to strip back some of that yellowness. West Coast Weaver says, I get butt and cannibalism chat out of this. Oh, yeah, as standard. Mini Haha Sybil says, dang it, Johnny, you beat me to it. I know what you're all like. I know what you're like, you lot. Brian Shona says, Monkey Island is returning? Is it? What have I missed? Presumably that Monkey Island is returning. Interesting. There's an announcement trailer on YouTube, Ron Gilbert and a lot of the original folks. That's nice. That's good news. I like a bit of Monkey Island. It's good fun. Except for if you follow the recipes for drinks in those games. Monkey Island grog. Just don't make it. Drink anything else. Is it? Shit. Okay, that's right. Devolver Digital has the trailer up on their Twitter. It's Devolver? Interesting. I do like Devolver, I have to say. Not least because they put out good things. including Weird West. I sound like I'm fucking been paid by them to talk about it. I'm not. I'd like to be. That'd be nice, actually. That's a sponsored thing I could get behind. But they put out some good stuff, and also routinely for years, Devolver's the best thing about E3 because they hire out a parking lot near the convention center, and if you go in as press, you can like stop off, and they've just got like a beer truck and a food wagon, and you can just stop and grab a bite to eat and something to drink and chill out in the sunshine for a little bit. It is a preposterously nice way to spend an afternoon amongst doing appointments. So yeah. Minahaha Sybil says, "How fitting! I'm painting a cow." I am rubber, you are glue. Alison Vasselbauer has done a super chat saying, "Hey Johnny, how's it going? I learned something really interesting the other day. Jedi use emails in Star Wars. They just can't have attachments." I at least saw that. I at least saw something coming off the back of that. That is such a specific joke that I kind of just love it. Like I can't. Yeah, well done, top marks. I'm very well, thank you, Alison. Sort of just explaining. It's been a hectic week, and it's going to be, well, last week was hectic. It's going to be hectic this week as well. So I'm dealing with some background stress, but all in all, I kind of realised today, I was like, oh, I am stressed. And I was like, yeah, but everything I'm contemplating this week is going to be fun. Like, I'm doing fun stuff this week, and I think that will be fine. What I'm most nervous about, to be perfectly honest with you, is that I'm running a game of Aegon tomorrow for a friend and 3 of his pals I've never met. And I've never run Aegon before, but I think it'll be fine. I mean, it's by John Harper and Sean Nittner, and I've played it, and it's a delight to pick up. And I don't actually think it's going to be nails to run, but for some reason, for all that I'm doing this week, that's the bit that's really making me nervous, which is very funny, because on Thursday, I'm going to be running a game of Dread, the horror RPG, live on stage at WASD in Tobacco Dock in London. Tickets are still available. You need a ticket to the show, but and then you need a separate ticket to come to the Dread night. But all proceeds are going to Safe in Our World, which is a video game mental health charity. So it's a really great cause. And I'm going to be on stage with some wonderful guests playing a spooky, scary horror game that involves a Jenga tower. Can't say fairer than that. Emma Blass has done a super chat saying, "What is best in life? To cherish your friends, see them driven to grow and succeed, and hear the celebrations of their families." That's lovely. Kind of, is Arnold Schwarzenegger on Cameo? It's probably not. It's probably too big, isn't he? As in, it's probably too significant to bother doing that. I understand that you can get him in frame if you just move the camera back, obviously. Nicholas Grammer has done a super chat saying, "Hey Johnny, don't know why I felt the need to share this, but I just hit a new personal record on leg press, moved 900 pounds. That's 408 kilograms for 2 sets of 6. Holy shit. That is a lot. I can see why you wanted to share that, to be honest, because that's some big old leg pressing going on right there. Well done. Congrats. And thank you for the super chat. Bloody hell. Jezzy Cat Production says, "Hey LSPs, finished work early. What's today's cursed topic?" I don't know. Nothing's been particularly cursed. Has it? I don't know. Chat will probably let you know. They tend to have more of a handle on what is and isn't cursed in these streams. We're getting there. We've done this side and this side. Now we need to do this side, the inside of this wall, and then some little bits on this pillar. We're getting there. Lucy Mama says, "Nothing's been cursed, but we did have butt chat for a bit." We did. It was kind of just sort of like, it felt a little bit half-assed, funnily enough. It felt like we were just doing it because we know we do it a lot. Maybe I've run out of things to say about butts. God, that's a terrifying prospect, isn't it? It was a bit perfunctory taking it off the list. Yeah, I agree. Silent Cobb has done a super chat saying, my crafting budget is currently limited to the model builder software. It is relaxing time but only has medium sand paint. Medium sand? Vile. Horrible. A base pretender to the glory that is pale sand. My favourite paint. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Let's get it. Ooh. Dry brushing. It kind of looks like a, you know the sweets fruit salad or blackjacks, sort of classic UK tuck sweet, tuck shop sweets. Kira says tutti frutti. Yeah, tutti fucking fruity. That kind of thing. Snorpenbass asks a good question. Would Airborne Skaven Raiders be Skyrat pirates? I think so, yes. Absolutely. Monk says, I was painting an eye pinker than usual when someone asked about them. Is it pink enough, LSPs? Also, Shaggy's butt. Painting an eye pinker than usual when someone asked about them. Is it pink enough, LSPs? Have you posted this somewhere, Monk? I am confused. Right, get in there. Peter Gray says, such ASMR from that brushing, it's very soothing. Okay, good. Good news. Don't know whether it's a nice noise or not for most people. Oops. Ow, ow, ow. Severin says, have you ever squished and rolled a fruit salad and a blackjack together? No. Kind of feels like they'd explode, you know? It's like, that's how you make C4, mate. I'm not doing that. Oh, the link didn't send. Got it, Monk. Yeah, for some reason, it doesn't let people just bang in links. It's something I should change, really, in the ho-ho-ho YouTube back end. But haven't yet. Alright, getting there. Let's do the inside of this wall. Slop some shade onto this little thing. Aha! Monk has sent me And says his cape was fun. Nice. T-Beard says... T-Beard? Goodness. T-Beard says, discovered quite by accident that a shot of Sambuca and a glass of bad red wine tastes exactly like blackjacks. Goodness me. That's... extremely cursed. No thank you. That's... yeah, no, that sounds absolutely wretched. The dog's sleep woofing. See if she does it again. She woke up when I said dog. Sorry. Hopefully some of you heard that she did a little woof in her sleep. Okay. A bit more of this. Dry brush it, check it and see. I've got a paintbrush and my name is Johnny. Dry brushing, dry brushing. All of you are sharing extremely cursed recipes now for booze that shouldn't be booze. Jägermeister and lemonade taste exactly like cola cubes, says Chaos. Black Shield Forge says Southern Comfort and Iron Brew taste like fruit salads. Just Mammon is fine, says if you mix Sambuca and Baileys it turns green? Really? Will says 50-50 Absolute Raspberry and Lemonade tastes like Parma Violets. 50-50 Absolute Raspberry? Goodness me. And Lemonade. Parma Violets are fucking gross though. I'm sorry. But they're horrible. I hate them. It's like the Aviation is like probably my wife's favourite gin cocktail, and it just tastes like Parma Violets. I just can't do it. They're just like... I used to, as a child, I used to call it Parma Violet's toilet sweets because they smelled like weird potpourri or like bathroom spray. And I stand by that, you know. It's toilet sweets. Toilet tier sweets as well. Sorry if I'm talking shit about anyone's favourite sweet in chat, but in my defence, it's not my fault that you've got terrible taste. Talking of cursed cocktail, like, what's the most cursed cocktail I've ever had? A guy I lived with once tried to make a Bloody Mary with vodka and a can of Heinz tomato soup because he didn't have tomato juice, but he also didn't have tomato soup. He only had oxtail soup. And at that point, right, you'd reasonably think, let's give it up. It's over. Don't worry, Sam, he knows the way home. Like, send the pony back. Soldiered on. In like a pint jug. Like the dimpled pint jugs. Can of cold Heinz oxtail soup and a massive slug of vodka. He got through a surprising amount of it. I'd say he drank about half of it. I to this day will never know why. I think I might have tried it and it was absolutely disgusting. But when you're 17 years old, I guess that's just, you know, why not? Great night out. Okay, so that's sort of the outside of the ruin, and then there's the inside. I do need to do bits here. Let's do those before we do the floor. We'll do the floor last. Thunder Cookie says, I was once given a chocolate soda. I've never had anything more cursed. Yeah, when I was a kid, there was a chocolate and cherry soda that was sold in like those little tiny cans, like mixer cans, and it was absolutely fucking vile. Like, I kept trying it to be like, maybe I like it now. Like, I don't particularly like pineapple, but sort of once a year I'll eat some pineapple to be like, do I like pineapple now? And I'm like, nah, I'm still lukewarm to it at best. But yeah, just fucking chocolate and cherry soda. It was disgusting. Emma Benton says, do you want cursed soda? Try ranch soda. Is that actually a thing, though? Because, like, I've seen people post about ranch soda. And for the avoidance of doubt here, we are talking about a soda that tastes like ranch dressing, like salad dressing. I kind of just assumed it was a joke. Ebrel506 says, I've heard chocolate milk and gin is very good together. I'm assuming it's... No, please no. I really hope... No, I don't think it will be. Corvus Albright chimes in with a super chat to say, Cursed Haiku for Cursed Haiku time. And now BMK. Haunted Bunt Cake. Undead Flan. Possessed Chiffon Cake. Goodness. Wow, this is ridiculous. Okay. Kill the undead flan, because it's undead, and therefore I assume it means me harm. Bonk the possessed chiffon cake, because it's possessed, at least, you know, it can consent, which is important, and marry the haunted bunt cake. Because, you know, ghosts. Bit of fun, you know? And I could, you know, you can't help somebody resolve their unfinished business over the course of a one-night stand now, can you? And you can't kill that which is haunted, it's already dead. So, I would marry the haunted bunt cake and devote the rest of our time together to helping them finish their do their unfinished business. There you go. Thank you for that cursed, extremely cursed haiku, Corvus Albright. You've tipped us over into a definitely cursed stream, I think it's fair to say. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put some Agrax Earthshade, just slop some onto here to try and bring this back a bit, make it a bit more muted. I'm also going to clean this brush. And then we are going to find a very small, inconspicuous part of model and dry brush it with pale sand. A, to give the people what they want, bit of pale sand, and B, to see if I want to do this over all of the terrain. I kind of suspect I don't, but we'll see. Oh, actually, it's gone 3:30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this brush in the sink because it'll be quicker, and we shall take a 5 to 7 minute break. So, you know the rules? They're not really rules, they're just conventions. CookieCat94 says smoker's cough. It's Jägermeister and mayonnaise. Oh, that sounds disgusting. Thank you so much for that. That sounds absolutely rancid. Right. 5 to 7 minute break. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Are you warm enough? Do you need to stretch? Is there anything you can do that will enhance your enjoyment of the next half of this stream, the next 90 minutes of working on terrain? If so, go do it now. If not, cool, stay put and enjoy the picture of my dog and some smooth jazz. And I will be back very soon. Goodness me, it's 5:30. Oh, sorry, did I say it was 3:30? It's 5:30. It's break time. It's time for break. See you in a bit. 5 to 7 minutes. Goodbye. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this stream on youtube.com/Johnny Chiodini. I am Johnny Chiodini. If you're just joining us, hi. I am painting up some terrain for Warhammer 40k Kill Team. Basically, what I did was I took two different spray paints, one sort of reddish purple, and another sort of this brown colour you can see under the yellow, and I gave them sort of a spray paint gradient, and I've just gone in and dry brushed a bunch of yellow on there. So it kind of, like, some of the detail stands out. It looks a little less flat than it did, and just generally speaking, it's colourful, and you can put models on it, and you can have a good time. So basically, to all intents and purposes, this terrain is done, apart from this floor, which before the break, some of you will have seen, I dry brushed, and I feel like I went a little bit overboard with it. So what I'm going to do is like liberally splash on some of this shade. I might even just pour a bit on and just go blah, blah, blah with my hands, just to dull this down a little bit and kind of take the edge off a bit. During the break, I also I did a lateral flow test, so I've got that cooking away here. It looks negative so far, which is great. Also, because my throat started hurting, and I was like, is it not? I kind of feel like I have a suspicion I know why my throat was hurting, because I went to blow my nose before swabbing it for the lateral flow test, and when I blew my nose, I got some yellow circles from my nostrils, and then I was like, wipe, and basically when you dry brush, you often flick little bits of particles of paint into the air, and I've been inhaling those and just going like, just getting yellowish nostrils. So there we go. Will says you will immediately regret pouring it on. Yeah, probably, but now I want to see what happens. I'm going to try it. Fuck it. Because if I immediately regret pouring it on, I'd like to know why I immediately regret pouring it on. You know, just sort of just pushing all the buttons. I just want to see what's so bad about pouring it on, really. It's not really pooled. It's more just giving me sort of a smother coverage. I feel like I've mopped the floor with Agrax now. But it is making the floor look a bit darker, which is nice. Will says, now see, you poured a lot less than I was picturing. That seems sensible. Thank you. Sensible's not what I aim for, but sometimes I accidentally stumble across it. I am going to get some more on there and just really work it. Why do I feel like I'm marinating a chicken? Emma Benton says, now I want to finger paint. I don't think I've finger painted in 30 years, probably. There you go. Anyway, I've tried to smudge up the deck a little bit. Will says, get a bit of pooling and tide marks, free weathering. All right, let's see. Pooling. Like this? Pooling. Oh yeah, look at that. It is free weathering. Psst, it's free weathering. Here we go. Yeah, they're starting to look a little less like I've... Oh god, that's... Nah, that's fine too. We'll sort of just do that, work it in there. Yeah, it's looking more like a broken up, even rusted bit of building, bit of platform. What a treat. I'm going to stop there so I don't completely overdo it. But that, to me, looks pretty alright. Dick Scatberg says, now dip it in egg and then flour. I don't have any eggs, unfortunately. Otherwise, obviously, yeah, I'd do that. Get it in some oil. Delicious tempura terrain. Right, so I need to put this somewhere flat for it to dry. So I'll probably dig that box back out. Oh, I should probably do it on this one as well. Okay, let's do it on this one. Here's one I've terrained earlier. Monster Noodle says, I once dyed my arms blue, part Smurf for a week. How did that happen? I'm assuming it wasn't intentional. How did you accidentally dye your arms blue? Or why did you intentionally do it, if indeed it was intentional? Brian Muller's done a super chat saying, and also thank you, Monster Noodle, for the super chat. But Brian Muller's done a super chat saying, Hi Johnny, unfortunately I was not able to catch your 1 year stream live, so I'll take this opportunity to say thank you for being one of the most lovely people on the internet. Thank you very much, Brian. And when you consider how many people are on the internet, and how dreadful a lot of them are, it's actually, statistically, not that difficult to be among the most lovely. But no, in all seriousness, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. I hope you are very, very well. Yeah, it's weird that it's been a whole year, but it was a lot of fun getting slightly tipsy on stream and just... There's the brush. That's what I'm looking for. Just titting about, really. Addy, are you okay? Has done a super chat saying, Hey Johnny, I've just got home from the best first day of a new job I have ever had. So here's some money for you to say thanks for being you. Congratulations. That is excellent news and extremely encouraging. There's nothing quite like a first day of a job that goes well and makes you feel like actually valued. They can be a rarity for sure, but when they happen, oh, they're delightful. So many congrats, not just on the new job, but on the first day going well. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, and thank you for the super chat also, obviously. Ta-da! Terrain! Lucanthia says, I'm covered in wood stain. I dropped my palette. No! Oh dear. That's not good. Okay, I don't have the coronavirus, everybody. I think we can pretty comfortably say that that is a negative result. It's good fun. It's like spinning a wheel in a game show. You've earned a week indoors. You could have won, not that. Okay. So, I'm going to start putting this stuff away. Because that is some finished terrain. Okay. Right. Hello, Watson. You're a sweet dog. So now, hang on, give me a sec. Aiden Folk says, just another day in paradise. Oh, think twice. Another day for you. You and me in paradise. Bam, 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 bam. Da, 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 da. Please welcome back to the stage, Warcry Red Harvest Terrain. Talk of a stubborn project, actually. This is definitely up there with them. This stuff, you may remember me having painted this on stream. It is sort of a derelict Varan stone refining operation. Oh, Steve Gilly says, Johnny, please, I just want to go outside. I'm sorry. You may remember me talking about painting this terrain on stream. It's a lot of like chutes and platforms, and there's sort of a little the nice switch says, brave of you to assume I remember anything. It's a lot of sort of like, there's a wheel here and like an oil derrick type boop, 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 boop thing. And then there's this little happy thing. It's just like buckets. Over the buckets go, and there's a chute that attaches there. Anyway, it's a lot of wood, which we like. We like a bit of wood. Fuck it. Yeah, go ahead, say that. But also, this looks too pristine. So what I'm going to do is I've got some rust water-soluble paint with a smooth finish. High matte semi-permanent. Hi, Matt. Semi-permanent. Wow. They're being really rude to the temp. Hi, Matt. Semi-permanent. Anyway, this stuff is unfortunately made from Dirty Down. So this is Dirty Down rust. There we go. There goes the ball bearing. We are going to... Nice Switch says, my favourite game is Bucket, Buckets. It's good, isn't it? CookieCat94 says, looks like a lot of chances to practice non-metallic metals. No, get behind me, Satan. Thank you very much. Jack Wood says, Johnny, I went through high school with this name. Fuck! I didn't even think about that. Wow. The best kids could ever do with me was Rubber Johnny, because Chiodini is not conducive to good puns when you're 7 or however old they were. Dick Scatberg says, this makes me feel less bad for wanting to ask if Johnny has a lower back tattoo. I haven't got a lower back tattoo, I've got a full back tattoo. So yes, but it starts just above my butt and it finishes up here. It's not done yet, so I haven't shared pictures online, but anyway. But yeah, anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. Will says, hey Johnny, what are my initials? That was a fun one too. Yeah, entirely fair, Will. Entirely fair. Also, hang on one sec. I need to send a message over the internet to somebody. There we go. Back to sleep, little keyboard. Tap, tap. There we go. That casual dragon says, wait, I have confusions. Why are there 2 keyboards, one on top of the other? Because I have 2 computers. I have the computer that handles the mic and the camera and the streaming bit while I'm streaming. And then I have a gaming PC, which is connected to the streaming PC, so that I'm not asking one teeny tiny little computer to do everything, to play the game and also encode it and also stream it. So yes, I have, as HC Bird has described it, a keyboard bunk bed, basically just so that, I can stream games that are a bit more taxing on the CPU and GPU. That is the reason. There you go. Aiden Folk says, have you thought about getting a KVM? What's a KVM? Kevin Vandermeer? I've no idea what a KVM is, I'm afraid, Aiden. Keyboard Virtual Man. Keyboard Very Mixit. Nick Jeffrey has done another super chat saying, in Britain, blocks of flats have lifts. In America, apartment blocks have elevators. This proves that Brits and Americans are just raised differently. Oofed. Ah, yes, there we go. Will says, not much. What's a KVM with you? Yeah, I walked into that one, didn't I? Nick Jeffrey, that was cursed. Keyboard video mouse switch. Oh, interesting. A virtual KVM like Synergy would probably do the job for you. Actually, I'll sling you a link. I don't know. I'm perfectly happy with my 2 keyboard setup. You can share keyboard and mouse between 2 computers. Only if I can have a foot stomp switch to switch. We'll see. Artemobile is on a super chat saying, done with the neurobiologist. Pup is fine from the fall, but definitely has some back issues that are mostly just old age. She's 15 in a few weeks. Oh, I mean, I'm very, very glad that she's fine from the fall, because that must have been bloody scary. No wonder you took her to the vet. Oft. I hope she has a lovely quinceañera. Right, anyway, here's this very gooey, slightly scary rust paint, which you sort of just slap on, and it dries very, very fast and smells quite strongly. And you can do multiple coats if you want to make it more rusted. And the plan is to slap this onto all of the metal across all of this terrain, and then go back in with a brush and some water to kind of strip it back a bit. And then I'm going to varnish this stuff to seal it. But basically, it is just quite a lot of diligent daubing on of dirty down rust wash. So that's what we're going to be doing until the end of the stream in about an hour. Again, for those of you who are just catching up, apologies that I'm not streaming for 4 hours today, but it's my friend's birthday. And I'm going to go see him and say happy birthday, because he's normally not in London, but he's in London for his birthday. So that'll be nice, and is partly the reason why I just did a lateral flow test, because I love my friends and I want to protect them and keep them safe. So here we go. The Nice Witch says, diligently daubing Dirty Down. Although originally she wrote it as Dirty Dan. Paging Dr. Freud? Oh, shit. I don't know why I did that. This stuff smells quite strongly. And when it goes on very evenly, looks bad. But we'll fix that in a bit. In the meantime, I am going to actually put a bit more onto just a couple of bits of this to make it look very rusty. Right, and we'll just keep going with this, basically. Definitely not going to get through all of this in the next hour. Nice Witch says, wow. Emma Benton says, rude. I'm just curious. Is it a Freudian slip? Who knows? Is a Nice Witch thinking about somebody called Dirty Dan? Possibly about how they should clean up their act. I don't mean to be rude, I'm just curious, you know? Good Luck or a Quick Death has stopped in to do a superb chat. Thank you very much, Good Luck or a Quick Death. I really appreciate it. You are as generous as you are silent. Septimus 1026, meanwhile, has done a super chat with words attached to it. I shall read them out now. Thus is the implied contract of a super chat. Septimus says, first Rust, now Dub. You trying to sneak the Full Venture crew into conversation? No, of course I'm not. Of course, I actually watched Encanto for the first time ever last night, and they say the word Corazon in that quite a lot, as a term of endearment, which is funny, because you wouldn't normally think of Corazon being endearing. But, Tish. D&D joke. There we go, look, you can see how it's kind of, it looks properly like rust now as it dries. And then, when some of it starts to come off with a, like, slightly wet brush, then you shall see. You'll all see. It genuinely does look quite nice. And this stuff isn't mega expensive, but the problem is getting it posted to you because of the ingredients in it, many of which are, I assume, quite nasty. That's the expensive bit, where they're like, we'll send it to you, but you have to pay more than the item to get it posted. I think there are places that do it cheaper, but I got caught out when I first bought this. But yeah. Will says, trying to sneak Oxventure characters into conversation, that would be the height of imprudence. Emma Benton says, surface pressure was too relatable and I cannot watch it without crying. So here's the thing, right? I've been warned that Encanto is like a proper sob fest. It's like, don't watch Encanto unless, like, don't watch it dehydrated because you're going to sob. And I watched most of it being like, I mean, it's moving, but I don't know why everyone said it was like such a sob fest. Then we got towards the end, and I was like, oh no, there it is, and I just burst out crying. My wife was crying as well, but at the end, I was the one who flopped over sideways onto the sofa and went, no, and I had to get my head cradled. It's very moving. It's very moving indeed. I think I prefer it as a film to Moana, but I think the songs in Moana just about edge out those in Encanto. There, I said it. Surface Pressure is my favourite, but I do think if you look at all of them together, I think Moana just about beats Encanto in terms of good songs. Right. God, this stuff smells weird. Wraith Shadowheart's done a super chat saying, "Aren't you supposed to have safety gear for this?" That's a very, very good super chat to send, actually. Hold on. Let's see. Danger, highly flammable liquid and vapour. Causes serious eye irritation. Keep out of reach of children. Keep away from heat. Hot surfaces, sparks, open flames, and other ignition sources. No smoking. Wash contaminated skin thoroughly after handling. Wear protective gloves and eye protection. So yes. Don't do this at home, folks, basically. Don't try this at home. I'm an untrained professional, and I understand the risks. I was going to make a joke being like, uh-oh, keep it away from hot surfaces. That's me. But I couldn't be bothered in the end. And now here we are. Oh, the porn bots are coming thick and fast today, aren't they? Thick, etc., etc. This life is a joke. That Casual Dragon says, wash contaminated skin. Can't remember if it said immediately, and now I'm just looking at Johnny's thumb. That's the, all of that is the shade from before, in fairness. Don't worry. Like, am I following the guidelines to the letter? No. Am I putting myself in danger? I don't believe so. It is within my own personal comfort levels in terms of risk and responsibility. I'm reminding you all that when you do this, you should wear safety equipment. But I am also my own person. So there we go. I'm just a person standing in front of some other people on the internet, asking them to forgive me for painting without gloves and eye bits. Painted a little bit wide of the mark there. Slightly rusty skull. That sounds hideous. This stuff is definitely faster than the old 1-2 of Typhus Corrosion and then a Riser Rust dry brush. I'll say that for nothing. And it has really dried very nicely up here. Like, I do like the way this all looks. And it all looks very uniform and a bit flat and drab right now, but it does look really good when you start to remove some of it in some areas, and then so I'll just go from there. Sleepy dog. Emma Button says, I worry about all of you. Yeah, that's fair. After the last couple of minutes in chat, I was like, I should read more chat. And it's like, oh, maybe I won't read all of that out. Bless you all. This life is a joke. Okay. Big wheel. Paint big wheel. Make big wheel rusty. Rusty skull, rusty big wheel. What is it about rusty that makes everything sound absolutely filthy? I mean, you know what I mean. It's rust. It's, it's not clean, but I mean, like, lewd, you know? Something gave them a rusty big wheel, etc., etc. It just sounds sordid. Really quite sordid. Or as Maggie Smith says in extremely racist comedy film Murder by Death, oh, that's tacky. That's really tacky. Oh, I didn't see if I liked dry brushing on pale sand onto the kill team terrain, but that's okay because I don't think I actually wanted to do it anyway, so I just won't. But it was fun. It was fun to pretend for a little while that was something we wanted to do. Nomad 0036 summarises the debate very well. Rust is brown and so is poop. There we go. Case closed, everybody. Daub that on a bit more. There we go. That's it certainly looks rusted, doesn't it? So we'll leave that alone for the time being. Just Man Bun is fine. Says, I'm in bed now, so I'll probably fall asleep very soon from Johnny's incredibly soothing voice. Good night, lovely Skelly pals. Good night, Just Man Bun is fine. Oh, you know what? That stuff smells quite strongly. So I might actually stop using it for now. Oh, you know what? That is on my hands, so I will wash that off. I'm going to wash the brush. I'll be right back. Do-do-do-do-do. Give me a moment. Oh, Linda, hi. Right. Oh, sorry, pig. Well, I presume you all heard Luna screaming at me then. Great fun. I see a pawn bot snuck in. Well done for getting rid of that, mods. So here we go. Here's this. You know what? The warning they need to put on that is wear a mask, because that is some harsh vapour there. That's the warning they need. So yeah, that's a rusted thing. Titan Uranus says Luna sounds like a baby when she screams. Doesn't she just? Isn't it awful? So I will show you actually. Show you a tiny bit. The cool thing about this stuff is it's very much water soluble, so you just get a brush that's a bit damp and you start to reveal the metal underneath, like on that tooth. Or where wouldn't it have rusted? I mean, it will have rusted everywhere, but we'll brush away a couple of bits, maybe over these runes, to just let those show through. And you can just sort of pare it back a little, so it's not just completely uniform or uniformly rusted, which I think is nice. Comme ça. So I'm going to sort of do that strategically to certain bits of this, just to kind of break up the rust and make it look less sort of uniform, like we were saying. Just revealing little bits here and there. Just for shits and grins, really. Oh, I missed a bit there. Oh well. There we go. Yeah. KTP says, are you going for a rusty but still works look or a completely seized with rust look? Completely seized. Does not work. So I realised that, you know, the bits that rub together wouldn't be rusty, but this stuff hasn't moved in years is the idea. Because there's another bit of this. In fact, it's this bit. The old bucket machine, the capstan that works it, you got skeletons there. They're all of them done in. So they are. This has also made me realise that this is going to be a much longer job doing all the rust than I thought it was going to be. So that's fun. But there we go. Right, so I don't really want to use any more of this today because I want to only ever use that again in a well-ventilated area. So the question is, what do we work on now? Because I want to stop that. I want to stop working on this. We've finished the kill team stuff. Monster Noodle says, I am so sorry about No Trail Monday. See? Yeah. Johnny, can you add banned words? Is that a thing? Yes, I can. Yeah, if you give me a thing, I can add it to the thing. If you send me the words you would like banned, then... Words are so hard today. If you send me a list of words you would like to have added to the list, I will add them to the list. There we go. Jack says, build the Pathfinders. I would build the Pathfinders, but I'm waiting on some spare heads. I haven't collected them from the PO box yet. So I might add some... add webcam. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Let me do that right now, actually. Da-da-da-da-da! Poskiget says, I need to look at the list. No, you do not. It is a list I have been curating for about 7 years of terms that I do not want showing up in comments on YouTube, and it is vile in extremis. Like, I've shared it with people to be like, here's what I use, and every time I do it, I'm like, I'm really sorry you're going to have to look at this, but... So, let's see. Where is the thing, actually? Community tab, is that it? No, that's not it. Settings. Community. Yeah, well, blah. Good God. .fyi band .xyz band webcam band. While we're here, no, sorry, that's fine. Cool. That's all done. Hopefully we should never see those again. We shall see. Righto. So, give me a minute to put this terrain away and get out. I'll probably start assembling some nuns, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Because who doesn't like assembling a nun or two on a Monday afternoon? Oh, there it is. Titan Uranus asks, how do banned words work? Well, basically, what happens is, you write a list of words, and if any of those words are typed in a comment or in chat in a stream, that comment is held for review. You manually decide whether or not to allow that comment through. Oftentimes the correct answer is no, but sometimes the answer is yes. So it really depends on the comment and on the day. I hope you're all enjoying this weirdly chaotic stream today. But what's that? That's Tau. Nuns! Reverse! Nuns. Yes, nuns. Okay. Here we go. But Johnny, why are you building nuns? That's none of your business. Ah, shit. Fuck. Bollocks. Oh, Steve Gilly says, oh no, we thought the paint was going to hurt them, but we all forgot Johnny's first nemesis, gravity. Yes, exactly. Look. Oh, Watson, you are a sweet dog. Okay. All right. So, here we go. I'm going to paint some nuns. Not paint some nuns, assemble some nuns. This will be fun for you and me. I need to get out the list of nuns I want to build. And then we're going to build them. Cheerful Spider says, can we all take a second to appreciate that there's a pastry called Nun's Farts? There's a pastry called Nun's Farts? Why? Why is there a pastry called Nun's Farts? Okay, right, it's time to build the Novitiate Superior. Hang on. Caden Kitten says, after class pals, please be safe and enjoy your days. Thank you, I will. Right, my list of nuns. It's nuns. Where's it gone? Ah, nuns. Okay. Fine. We need to do the superior. The nun superior. Do we want to paint? Do we want to assemble the nun superior with a sword and a gun, or just a big gun? Sword and gun, I think. Okie dokie. C2, C1, 2 and 4, 3 and 5. That's the upgrade sprue. Yes, this is the correct. Okay, great. We're fine. Everyone's fine. Everyone's saying sword and gun. Nun's farts are a traditional French-Canadian pastry. Wow, goodness. Learn something new every day. Every day's a school day. I mean, thankfully it isn't. Because, as I mentioned earlier from my stress streams of late, didn't enjoy school. Not keen to return. We need 3, 4 and 5. That's number 5. Assembling a nun. These nuns have killer heels. And therefore, presumably, calves of steel. Now, those of you who are wondering what is happening now, this is what's referred to as a mould line remover, and I am just shaving off tiny bits of plastic from where I cut this piece from the model. This is probably anti-ASMR now, weirdly scratchy. But it makes for a nicer paint job on the model. Shaz the Great and Powerful says, Johnny, is your sense of direction as bad in real life as it is in video games? Because if so, I am preternaturally worried about you. Actually, my sense of direction in real life is pretty good. Particularly in London, where I've lived for my adult life. So I've got a lot of it mapped out, but can also just go, well, I know that that bit of London's over that way, and I'll be able to do it and get there with like surprising accuracy over a long distance of just going down streets I've never been down and following my compass. It's just in video games. It's like I'm not paying attention really. Which makes sense, because walking around a place is a very different discipline to not walking and instead playing a video game. But one thing I am quite bad at is when I'm inside a building, being able to point out which way something is. Once I'm outside, I'm like, oh yeah, I know this is this way, this is this way. Whereas even at home, and and I've lived in this flat for over a year now, the streets where I'm like, oh, well, you've got to go down that road, and that road is actually over that way. So I do find people vaguely irritating when they're like, actually, it's that way. It's like, okay, were they about to crash through the wall and go that way as the crow flies, or were they going to go out of the building by the normal exits? But yeah, sense of direction, good. Sense of pointing at things through the correct wall indoors, bad. Video game sense of direction, terrible. That's my hierarchy. Shaz the Great and Powerful says, oh, thank God, my poor little heart can rest. Also, absolutely loving your God of War playthrough. It's wonderful to watch you experience this excellent game. It's a bloody delight, so it is. The pacing is weird. The pacing is very strange, but other than that, it's great. All right, that's all of the sort of gribbly bits taken off. So, oh, that's your waist. Ah, okay. So that's gonna. Ah, I see. Okay, so these two bits, I'm gonna slot in. I like this. That's how we're gonna start building this. So we got some thin plastic cement here. I'm going to start daubing that on. stick those two things together. Will has listed, are these favourite places in London? Here we go. Just another broke nerd says, what would be your top 3 must-see for London that aren't obvious? Will says Bagel Bake on Brick Lane, which I agree. Tate Britain, not modern, agreed. Skyline from Primrose Hill. Don't think I've ever seen the skyline from Primrose Hill. For me, big fan of Maritime Greenwich. Including the Cutty Sark, which is like a great big former tea clipper. What are my 3 must see? I don't know, because like when I have friends come and stay, for example, feels like I sort of just tailor what we're doing based on that person and what they'd enjoy. Like I had a friend come recently, and our only thing was like it was actually our plans were let's vegetate for ages, let's just chill out in the flat. Apart from when we go for lunch in Chinatown, and that's a whole weekend. Like that's kind of it. Also, where does this fucking bit actually sit? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's not a handsome join. Surely not. But I guess so. Defect says the inside of any pub. Oh heavens no! There are many pubs that I would recommend you not venture anywhere near in London. Top 3 things. There we go. That's the join. Top 3 things in London that aren't obvious to go and see. I'm going to say Maritime Greenwich, because even though there is a sort of touristy element to it, it is also just a lovely part of London. I'm a big fan of the Parkland Walk in Finsbury Park. That's an old railway that they turned into Parkland when they sort of... There we go. Pulled up all of the tracks and the sleepers. Is that really it? Surely that's not it. No, that can't be it. But it must be. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Do you ever just sometimes? Jack Wood says, the Cutty Sark. Agreed. Maritime Greenwich is brilliant. London Fields on a Saturday in the summer. Yes and no. If you like board games, Bad Moon Cafe in Southwark. All good shouts, actually. London Fields can be a bit much. Jack says Highgate Cemetery. That is also a very, very good shout. Okay, that is where that leg is supposed to go. Well, that's good news. Phew. So that's those bits. Oh, shit. Oh, no, there's the leg that I need. Okay, so then we need C3 and C5. Assembling models. It's the same in that you're manipulating tiny bits of plastic and muttering to yourself, but it's also a completely different side to the hobby. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it. Aidan Folk says Docklands Light Railway for the pretending to drive experience. Incredible. Will says Highgate Cemetery, none more goth. I would say... Okay, so here's another one. I would say Dr. Samuel Johnson's house, just off Fleet Street in London. It is worth going just to see the front door alone. Like, his front door has some obscene security measures, including like a grill over the window at the top, so nobody can smash that window and post a small child through to unlock the door, a la Oliver Twist. But it's got like, honestly, I can't even begin to describe to you how many security features this door has. And you know what? It turns out Dr. Samuel Johnson, the inventor of the English dictionary, needed them. There was one time he owed so much money to the milkman that the milkman tried to have him arrested. He barricaded himself inside his flat, bringing his bed down from the bedroom to the front door to add weight just in case they knocked it down. So the house itself is now a museum dedicated to his life and works. It also has a chunk of the Great Wall of China in it, which shouldn't be there, let's face facts. And then there's a room with like a couple of facsimile copies of the dictionary as Johnson published it, which are fascinating. It's just a very good, fun museum. And then round the corners, there's the Old Cheshire Cheese, which is a pub which Johnson used to drink in with other people. You can go there for a relatively inexpensive pint. It is quite nice. They have a taxidermied parrot, so that's good. That's sort of a bit of fun to do on Fleet Street that isn't like, oh, the Demon Barber kind of thing. So that's good. I don't know, a lot of my sort of favourite pockets of London are to do with things that you do when you're a Londoner and thus are ignoring most of the city. It's hard to say. Monica Lockpick says, I don't know, sounds very British to me. Oh, wait, no, I don't know, sounds very British to me. The Great Wall of China Stone. I know, indeed. I mean, if you want to go to the British Museum, there's a whole bunch of stolen shit there, has to be said. Right, so we need C11, 6 and 8 now. There's 11. The question here, chat, is... Bless you, Watson. What hat are we going to give this particular model? Because this model is a Novitiate Superior, so this is basically the leader of the nun kill team. And she comes with a few different options for the head that you can put on, all of which are differing levels of hat. Because there's one hat that's kind of like... It looks like a cross between a nun's hat and a sailor hat. And then there's two that look like different Fabergé eggs. Whoa! Dragon651 has just done an absolutely massive super chat. Thank you very much. There's no message attached. If there was supposed to be, please just type it in chat and I will read it out as if it were attached to the original message. Needless to say, don't super chat again to say it. But thank you, that's really bloody kind. I really appreciate it. Chat is now chanting egg hat. And I am tempted to do egg hat. My plan going into this was to go egg hat. But I can't guarantee that I will at this stage. I haven't really looked at any of them on the sprue, and I can't guarantee, because I'm going to have to spend hours painting these models and then staring at them as I play with them. Like, it's entirely possible I will not be able to... I just won't be able to bring myself to put the egg hat on, but we'll see. I'll do my best, is what I'm trying to say here. West Coast Weaver says, the biggest hat is the leader hat. The bigger the hat, the harder they are to beat. It's just science. Nathan has done a super chat, and it's all Nathan's fault that I'm even starting Kill Team, to be perfectly honest. Nathan has done a super chat saying, egg hat! So, you know, the crowd is definitely not clamouring for the egg hat. We shall see how it goes. In the meantime, I need to put the sword arm in here. How have they managed to get that arm with the sword pointing down quite so much? That's weird. How come my arm doesn't look like that? Insert sword arm. Glue sword arm into none. Place on plate. Well, if the other arm's going to be up, I don't see any harm in it being... Zega Genesis says, don't Boaty McBoatface us. Indeed. Right, here we go. Okay. Nathaniel Levy says, kit bash hat. I don't know, the last time I kit bashed a hat, it did turn out to be very, very silly. It's a dwarven helmet with a blood bowl ball on top of it. And it looks very, very silly. The dwarf's name is Bogheck Hardhelm. Right. It goes in and turns on the way in. I think that's about right. That's a sword in a nun's hand. That'll do. Also need to give her a backpack. There we go. Here's your backpack. Don't forget, use both straps. Otherwise you'll end up lopsided shoulders. And the Emperor won't be happy. There we go. West Coast Weaver says, give the nun a nun for a hat. Oh no. For those of you wanting a reference photo for the egg hat, there is now one in Discord. Thank you, Will. C9 or C10. So that's a las pistol or like a bolter pistol. Which one do I want? Bolter? Kind of feel like bolter rather than plasma. Anyone who's kill teaming with the nuns, do you have an opinion on this? Plasma pistol, says Will. Alright. Is that better for killing? I'm cutting it out, so I hope it is. Thunder Cookie says, personal choice, the egg with the fleur-de-lis and the skull on top. Duly noted. Oh, I tell you what, just thought of another recommendation for London. I think it's called Postman's Park. It is just a little park, but it has a monument that was begun, well, a series of sort of memorials, I guess, that was begun ages ago, like well over 100 years ago, and has just recently had some new additions, or relatively recently. It might be a couple of 100 years old, I don't know, but basically it's a series of monuments to a bunch of people who have given their lives to save the lives of others, sort of selfless sacrifice kind of memorial, and it's quite moving. Yeah. Plasma pistol is just straight up better than other choices. Plasma pistol it is. Now it's time to pick a hat. So C14, 15 or C102. C102 is on here? No. Okay. Right. So, hopefully you can see this. This is hat number 1. That is the sailor nun hat. Okay, so that's the most sensible one. Then where's number 15? Number 15. Well, I've just found the least sensible one. That's over here. But I want to go in ascending order of ridiculousness. Where's that gone? Oh, here we go. Here's the next one. The next one is this doodad, sort of big cone. It's hard to see, but there's a fleur-de-lis there, and on top there's a tiny little skull on top of a spike, which is very pleasant. And then finally, we have got this ridiculous thing, which is so ornate. You just know it's meant to be all gold, and it's got rivets, and it's just... it's a lot. So, as you can see, Monk is chanting, nun hat, nun hat. Nathan says, Johnny, why are we still talking about this when you could be fixing egg hat to your boss nun? I actually think... I do want one of the bigger ones, but I don't want the completely bananas one. So I think I'm going to go for... West Coast Weaver says, three-headed nun? That would absolutely be heresy, I reckon. I'm going to go for this one. It's still a lot, but it's not an awful lot. It's not focused very well. It's got the fleur-de-lis and it's got the skull, and that's what I'm putting on. I feel like it's, yeah. That is a good compromise between chat being gremlins and me having to live with this decision. I actually really like this. I like her face. I like how stern it is. We've got our novitiate superior, everybody. Plasma pistol, power sword, silly hat, not completely preposterous hat. So that's good. One nun down. Then, what do we want? Militant, penitent. We want to build the penitent. So, 17D. Okay. Good. CookieCat94 has done a super chat saying, why do the French make omelettes with only one egg? Because one egg is enough. There it is. An old classic. I'll always read it out, though. It is just good. Now then. 18. 18. 1, 8. 18. There we go. Those are words that aren't on the ban list. I will add that one though. Good old not good porn bots. Let's add that now before I forget. There you go. Done. Saved. Cool. Right. Back to building nuns. 16 and 17. Anonymous says, where do religious orders live while camping? In the penitent. Oh, that one got me. That's really good fun. 16 and 17. That's 17. 17 is a leg. You never know what you're going to find at the end of a number, you know? Sometimes it's a leg. Sometimes it's a bolter. Sometimes it's a rat man. Can't say the hobby isn't surprising. There we go. Ah yes, we're now into the phase of building nuns that at the outset have no faces. You need to add the faces in separately. Only slightly terrifying. 17, 18... and 19 and 24. We'll cut those out in a sec. Right. Web Giant says, an imam, a priest, and a rabbit walk into a bar. The rabbit says, I think I'm a typo. Very good. West Coast Weaver says, three-faced nun? No three-faced nun, I'm afraid, West Coast Weaver. This isn't that sort of game. I mean, it absolutely could be. Who am I even kidding? But I'd rather not, is what I'm ultimately trying to say here. If it's all the same to you. Okay. Glue in a nun. Yep. It's often, right, here's a hobby tip for you. It's often when you're gluing something good to hold it there until the glue has had a chance, even just 2 seconds, to set. Because what I did there was I pushed it on and went, yeah, and just let it fall off. And that was bad. So that's my pro tip. There you go. Emma Benton says, six-faced nun sounds like a Dark Souls boss. Really does. Blast says, leave them faceless, less work, more horror. There is something about the weird void that you get here. It does look like they're watching, but yes, perhaps not. If it's all the same to you, I have to live with the consequences of this stream. Children having a rambunctious time outside. Here comes the other leg. Choo choo. Jack Wood says, Six-Faced Nun and Warhammer has Grant Howitt energy. It really does. And far be it from me to pretend to be Grant Howitt. For one thing, I am approximately 2 miles too short. And I just can't even hope to aspire to the same level of Warhammer crime that Grant reaches, like, on a daily basis while sleeping. Yeah, it's a nice dynamic pose, this. I'm a nun, running about. Right, where's the nun's face? Face. Nothing disturbing about this at all. I'm looking for the nun's face. Give me the nun's face, and nobody gets hurt. I know you have nuns. Show me their faces. I'm actually looking for one in particular. There it is. Got it. Don't ping off. There we go. Will said, I was going to say Grant isn't that tall, but then I remembered that I'm mentally comparing Grant to 6'10" Chris Taylor. Yeah, and I'm 5'8", so, you know. It's not hard to seem tall with me. I don't consider myself to be short. I'm of an average height, perfectly middling. But it doesn't take much for me to then consider somebody tall, you know? Grant is tall. Ah, there's a tiny bit that needs to be taken off this nun's face. Stop saying that. There's a tiny bit that needs to be removed from this piece of the model in order for it to go on. It's been removed. Now it can be added in. Nun. Face. Come on. There you are, sister. Look. There she is. With her little face. Just like she's meant to be. Good nun. Good nun, Peter. Cool. Great. Cracking. Nun's got a face. We like that. Now we need D1 and D2 to give her the chainsword. Which lives on this sprue. We've got 9 minutes left. So we'll get through this nun. Hopefully do another. And then we shall call it a day. For I have business to which to attend this evening. Which is to say, I'm going to say happy birthday to our pal. Bye, Watson. Just another broke nerd says, are you really only 5'8"? I thought you were taller. You're so larger than life. I am 5'8", my friends. It's a perfectly cromulent height. Oh, I hate doing these. Titan Uranus is on a super chat saying, I just had 2 centimetres stolen from me when I renewed my passport today. Went from a respectable 187 to a piddling 185. I hate it when you have to do both arms at the same time for a double-handed weapon. Oh, the pets are going wild because they might be fed. Okay, here we go. For my next trick, I shall glue 3 contact points together on this model without saying the C word. Oh wow, it's actually happening. Oh, I made that look extremely easy, but normally it ends up with me swearing my... Aha! Yeah, that arm's not on properly. There we... That's more like it, you fucking piece of shit. There we go. Is that it? Is that better? Yes, that's better. Alright, oh, we got it. So there's our novitiate. Web Giant says, wait, Johnny, is Luke Westaway still taller than you are? Yes, Luke has always been taller than me. And as far as I'm aware, has not had his legs removed above the knee. So yeah, he is taller than me, considerably. Web Giant says, I thought Luke and Johnny are the same height. Oh, goodness me, no. Scott Perkins says, at least it's not two-handed weapons on metal miniatures. Agreed. Nathan says, are you building Whip Nun? She really sets the tone for the rest of the team. I think I am setting the getting that one. Is that the Pronatus? I think so. One sec. All right, here we go. So that's that one. Then what's the next one I want to build? Did I want the Hospitalier? Hospitalier. Let's have a look at my handy dandy list. Yes, I did. Okay, so we're going to build one more nun, then we're going to stop. Many's a time as a lad people would say to me, come on, off to bed with you, and I'd say, Father, just one more nun. All right, young scamp, they'd reply. We used to build so many nuns. Not like it were back then. What was I doing? I need 27 as well. Okay. There it is. All the fun of the circus, and by circus I mean staring at a sprue until you find the one piece you need. 6, 7, cool. Well, I hope everyone's enjoyed this stream. It has felt like a bit of a fever dream to me. I hope I'm not coming down with something after all, because it has felt distinctly weird. But not fun. It's been lovely to finish off some Kill Team terrain. That feels like an achievement. We learned an important lesson about well-ventilated areas while using Dirty Down Rustwash. if anyone's picking some of that stuff up, try and use it outside. And then we've assembled some nuns, which is always a good time. John Rice has done a super chat saying, "Just one more nun," Johnny said. "No, you've had enough. Give us your keys. You're sleeping in the steeple tonight." Oh, no. Thank you for the super chat, though, John, even if I am now sleeping in the steeple. Okay. Oh. Ah. Okay. There we go. There's that leg. Right, now we need D. Okay, 6 and 7, 3, 4 and 5. That'll be on the upgrade sprue. No idea what that is. Oh, it's a syringe blade thing. Okay, well, that's fun. Seven. Some sort of mechanical doodad. 4. 5. 6 should be the face. Yep, sure enough, there's a face. So, I'm going to be streaming again this week, as I tend to do. No, wait, no, I'm not streaming on Thursday. Because I'm going to be doing a live show at WASD in Tobacco Dock. And I have been informed that it will be recorded, so I can put it up on the channel. But if you can, it'd be lovely to see some of you down there. I'm going to be DMing a live game of Dread, the horror RPG, with some fantastic guests, including Gav Murphy of RKG, Einol Tomlinson, and Imogen Mellor, and 2 people from the audience, which should be great fun. So yeah, not streaming on Thursday, but the Game of Dread will be on the channel. Should be on the channel if all goes well, anyway. And then normal service will resume thereafter. So sit tight, everybody. Where does this little doodad live? I'm going to put that on last. Matt K. Fry Guy says, "Wait, what are you playing? Sounds awesome." It is a horror RPG in which there are no dice. There's a Jenga tower. Your character's trying to survive. There's only one tower. It's not like everyone has their own personal Jenga tower, but there's only one tower. And every time you would normally roll in an RPG, instead you pull a block from the Jenga tower. If on your turn the tower falls, your character is dead. It is very tense, great fun, slightly brutal. So we're gonna have guests. We're gonna get 2 people up from the audience, so they can join in as well. We're gonna play Dread, and we're gonna raise some money for Safe in Our World, which is a video game charity. It is a good old giggle. It's a lot more fun than gluing a hand onto an arm for a nun. Most things are in this life, I've found anyway. But, right, that's going to take ages to set. I'm not sure where this piece is going, so I'm going to do that off stream. I'm going to say thank you all so much for watching and bring this stream to a close. I hope you've enjoyed it. It has been slightly weird, but then all of them are. So there you go. As per ever, there's loads of stuff for you to watch on the channel. Do check some of that out. I have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Johnny Chiodini. And I'm also going to drop a link in chat for t-shirts, because those are available for 12 days? Yes, 12 days. for you to get yourself a lovely Skelly Pal t-shirt as modelled by me. They're very, very nice, and I think you're all fantastic. So thanks again for watching this. I hope you have a bloody lovely evening. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, farewell.